Yo, let's go, let's go, let's go. This is OG Chronicles with us talking about the bullshit that went down in America last night. I'm about to bring my panel up. The same, always the greatest you can have in your life. Brown Sugar, AD, and Tang. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing
Good, good.
good. Good, good.
So let's fucking jump into it. Yo, this shit show right here was nothing but a toddler show going mad. The circus is finally here. Do y'all agree?
Circus
Agreed.
been here, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Bring in the clowns. Bring in the clowns.
That
And
whole
the animals and the caravan, all that stuff.
look like the posture, the demeanor in the picture, and one of the greatest highlights of the day that JD Vance gonna always have to remember. Every senator that gave a fuck about Ukraine been in Ukraine, and again, why have you not been? JD Vance, I thought he was about to shit himself. How dare you? You should say thank you. he went off script. I watched the shit 3 times.
So you seen that too. It felt like it was a script. Like everything was supposed to be perfected out.
Y'all,
It was a WWE. It was a WWE script.
y'all. Remember, it's gonna be good for TV.
Right. Right.
This was a scripted show to get him to bow down to him. That's why when the dude was talking about the suit and he dogged him because he don't have brain cell to understand that he got this. Because when he sat there and said, "Why you don't want to wear a suit?" The man just said, "I will never put a suit on because we in war, and I'm showing solidarity to my people in war. But when I do win the war, I will make sure I get a suit that's better than your suit, and it's cheap and it look good." I was like, "That's a diss." That was a Kendrick moment.
It was.
Oh yeah.
That was he hurt your feelings. You weren't about clothing when we in war.
Right. That was a double Dutch movie put on him. And he meant every word he said. The other two
I'm sorry.
oh, that's okay. But the other two underclassmen performers that aren't even good actors um, showed no kind of leadership strengths, period. Showed weakness, showed emotion. They didn't have no emotional stability within how they presented themselves. It showed no loyalty to the American people or standing as a president. It was classless and it was an embarrassment to themselves. It didn't embarrass me at all.
Sounds like MAGA.
Yeah, they was an embarrassment to themselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
They
They got to understand America is was the strongest country in the world. America. And we stood on principle. We stood on loyalty. We stood on great character. You know, our character was value, integrity. They showed none of that. It was awful.
Okay, so let's go with this one. When did y'all ever see a vice president inside the Oval Office and two question the sitting president of another country? When have you ever seen that?
Never.
When have you ever seen the president that needed help when he's talking to a foreign dignitary? I've always just seen the president. I've never seen Kamala in there. I've never seen Pence in there. This is the first time I've ever seen a president having to need backup, because that's what Vance was. Vance was backup. He was backup only because we know from remember when Gavin Newsom surprised Trump at the tarmac? Yep. Out in California, and the bitch came out in him. Excuse my terminology, but I have to say it the way it is. The bitch came out in him.
Hold on.
Why not?
Bitch. in him. And she kissed that motherfucker on the cheek so much fast. If you was at the motherfucking damn thing getting swore in and she kissed your ass with an air quote. Or she kissed Gavin Newsom.
All on the lips.
Chrome. She do the same thing with the Canada dude. Dude, get over it. You are bitch.
Exactly. So being that he is who he is, he had to have backup there, primarily just to try to handle Zelenskyy and bully him, because any other way he wouldn't have been able to do it. It had to be a 2-on-1, unfortunately, and it's just disgraceful when you look at it.
That is. But would you think that it was because he couldn't read the script, the reason why they got Vance in there? He could remember it?
No, I primarily believe that he needed him as backup. Like, they knew that they were going to try to denigrate the man, try to make the man grovel on on American TV, and as well, why was Russian TV there?
Exactly.
That shit don't never make no fucking sense. Like, what the fuck are they doing there? Like, we ain't never entertained them before. So it was an entertainment thing. They were trying to make Zelenskyy grovel in front of Russia and America, and he didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? It just only showed the cowards that they truly are.
Yeah. But then you also looking at Trump going back and forth, looking like, which way did he go, boss? Which way did he go? I don't know. Did you do that? I don't know. So, yeah.
It's what it is, because the one thing that they hate the most, he stood up to y'all and then he crossed his arms and watched. Look at the picture. But I want to have fun with it. Let's give the real facts. Because Mark Rubio is the straight sellout that he fucking is. The straight sellout that he is. He always claimed he wasn't a war hawk. He always claimed he believed in democracy. He always said he's for his people, because, by the way, Mark Rubio is not YT. Regardless of how much he stay away from the fucking sun.
No, he's not.
He's family.
He is Cuban. But we all know the Cubans believe that they are white. It's the proximity to whiteness. That's why they vote like that down in Florida, where the Cuban population is greater. They basically go Republican because their proximity to whiteness.
They do. And that's some what is it? Other Latinos. They do the same thing. Mexicanos.
Let's go. Mark, I appreciate you.
How a father of two.
Not right now.
They want to do it.
Here we go.
Some sound that you and I were talking about. This is Marco Rubio and others on Putin and Zelenskyy before today's Oval Office ambush.
Russia is governed today by a gangster. He's basically an organized crime figure who controls a government in a large territory. There's no other way to describe Vladimir Putin.
I think this entire invasion has been irrational. It's hard to understand what is actually being fed into Putin in terms of intelligence and reporting and how much of his own propaganda he believes.
What's at stake is repelling an authoritarian who basically is saying, I want the Soviet Union back, I want Ukraine back, I want Kiev back. And then what's at stake is making sure we don't allow it to become an Article 5 larger, broader war than that.
John Bolton, your thoughts on folks, some of whom I imagine you know pretty well, today turning on a stalwart American ally fighting a clearly defined and understood American adversary?
Yeah, this is really one of the most disgraceful performances that I've seen, and I think it's important to understand that, in particular, Trump and Vance own this personally. This is the kind of attack on a country that's defending itself from an unprovoked aggression, and they just unleashed on Zelenskyy in public. And whether they planned it or not, I don't know. I'm not that concerned with questions of etiquette. I am concerned that the president, vice president of the United States have sided with the aggressor, with, as Michael also was just saying there, somebody who's trying to
What y'all think?
As far as what? It was framed. It was framed. They set that man up to sit here and come together and try and tear him down in order to sit here and get him to kiss his boots, to sit here and go by what it was, and to embarrass him. But you didn't embarrass him, you embarrassed yourself.
Exactly. They look like two little children trying to argue with an adult. They acted like two little children.
So no.
And Jasmine Crockett just apologized. Jasmine Crockett, I'm sorry, Brown. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Jasmine Crockett just apologized to the world for their actions. Now that's crazy. I feel as though she's doing it again. And y'all know what I mean? When we said Black women were going to sit down on this one. But I feel like she's doing it again. She didn't need to apologize to the world for their actions, but she did just because it is in Black women to try to nurture and try to bring shit back together the way it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? The rightness of things. You know what I'm saying?
It is. I mean, and that is true.
The correct balance. That's what I'm trying to think of. The correct balance of things.
Yes. And I think for her,
she felt the humiliation. Let's not get it twisted. She knows presidential stance, even within being a senator, as a spokesperson, a senator or representative of that she stands on. She still knows presidential character. She knows professional character, and she knows leadership character. And she knows that these two dudes acted like cowards. No kind of professionalism about them, period. They were just both uneducated and acted that way.
That's true. But also, if you look at it, just like she always sit here and say she's there for the people, and she's definitely there for her constituents. And it's actually comforting to know that your person has your back, or they think a different way. Because when have you seen this man, this goof troop man, come out here and say anything? He has yet to say anything about any of these airplanes and any of the lives lost. He has not apologized. He has not sent a condolence. He hasn't done anything. Everything else that he's done, nothing with any type of empathy whatsoever to anyone. Causing all this harm. The people lost their jobs. It's like, okay, whatever. Let's move on to the next thing. You want to sit here and tell us nothing. So for her to sit here and come out, and hopefully the rest of them will sit here and echo, because there is an apology needed. And if you look at every other thing that's sitting on the internet right now, shoot, half a majority of America is like, shoot, we apologize. You got Canadians over here apologizing. You got people over in Australia talking about it's not right. It doesn't even look right. And I just learned today, AD, were you still on there this morning? When we found out, I didn't even know that Australia gave us aluminum.
I was on there. I did not know. And he, whenever she said that, I said, well, he's going across the board with this for all metals. So that's basically anything being built. Anything being built is going to have some type of metal into it.
Right. He said aluminum and steel.
Right.
They have a large amounts of it where she's at. And she was like, they put the tariffs on them in Australia. So across the world, they hiked up all the tariffs. So
they're trying to alienate us. I think they're trying to alienate us, break us, and try to live like kings among peasants.
Yep.
That's what I think.
And it won't happen. That's the sad part.
It ain't gonna happen.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm
You
gonna
still
say
have
one
all
crazy thing that was
you have
some
all
real
these
shit.
workers and all these people, the general inspectors and things of that nature, who have got fired, even though they are still in class action suits. Nothing's moving yet, you know. So it's they're gonna have a chance. They're gonna have at least 9 months to just run rampant,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's a long time.
But you got to also remember too, it's a whole lot of other shit coming behind this shit. I'm telling you, it ain't gonna be everybody sitting like this. I believe in democracy. I know I'm black, you know, but I believe in karma. I believe what you reap, you sow. I know he can try all he wants. It's some shit. I don't give a damn. I just believe in faith. I'm having faith in this one. I'm prepared for either way, but I have faith in this one. Because I believe in our strength. They're not gonna let this motherfucker do what everybody think he gonna do. I'm telling you, ask Ronald Reagan, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
I believe in karma, but if y'all didn't notice them folks out there in DC, we weren't that majority out there in DC that was sitting there who was holding up them signs and saying what they needed.
Iowa, Portland,
they were there.
They've been everywhere. They were here. They were marching here, and I always have to make sure that we are not in the crowd.
Yeah, right. And guess what? And I'm allowing them to show their ass, and we watching popcorn. Why they like? Yeah, y'all right. Y'all both have the right to feel y'all way. Yeah, you have the right also to stand up for us for a change. And we will watch. We know when to double dutch in. But some of y'all got to deal with this shit.
They say Vance went up to Vermont. Bernie
This is the deal I feel. President Zelenskyy with his country, he's got the UK, he's got the United Nations standing behind him. So, you know, Russia, they better watch out.
Oh, yeah, it's about to get
They better
ugly.
watch out. Because they're not going to let their minerals, those are priceless gems to them. They're not going to let Trump bully them over what they have that's sacred to their country. You know, they're not going to.
Do you guys notice something real quick?
What's that?
I know he had the book, The Art of the Deal, but he's a terrible deal maker. If you look at it, you have the deal that he made with Mexico and Canada that he went back on from the last time that he was in office.
Oh, that he forgot about.
Right. And then you had the Budapest Memorandum in which, you know, I can't remember what president that was under, but that was also a deal that America made. But here he is trying to renegotiate the deal in order to get something from it, saying that America's not doing anything. We're just giving. And he doesn't understand the importance of where Ukraine is to Russia versus a Cold War, and, you know, just having a base there, you know, if we so chose to. And, you know, we all know that Russia is the biggest, as well as China and Korea, which all three of them are talking or in talks. And if no one said it today on the live, but at the same time, you have Korean soldiers. Remember when Korean soldiers had boots on the ground in Ukraine or in Russia? What the hell? I'm just going to leave it at that.
And it was Clinton. It was signed under Clinton.
Thank you, Tan.
You're welcome. But I guess I sit here and look at it as though the greed that they actually said, or they're just wanting. And I just think, like you said, AD, it's just he wants to be seen, and he wants to make himself look good in front of everybody, like he's actually strong. Because of course, what we hear is not what they hear. his loyal people, because that's exactly who he did it for. He did it for them, to make him seem like he was doing all the right things. But yeah, no, the front is, people read through that entirely too much.
You know why? Because again, it's a smokescreen. It's a smokescreen, just like he said, we're going to take Panama. It's a smokescreen, like he said, we're going to take Greenland. It's a smokescreen. You know, that's all he does is those smokescreens. While on the other side, you have his people dismantling and rummaging through America. And everything that we stand upon, all our pillars that we stand upon, they're running through it with a bulldozer.
Yeah.
And it's in some sense it's frightening, just because you just don't know what the hell's gonna happen. I mean, like I said earlier, the when I spoke to the lady when I went to my appointment at the VA, she just exhaled. I said, what's going on up here? She's exhaled and was like, they just fired around the people yesterday. And I was like, wow. And then told me the story of a guy who was retired, came back just to be, a pusher or assistant to veterans that are in wheelchairs and things of that nature. And, they let him go. And she said he only had the job just because he needed it to make his ends meet. Now he don't have no job. So I don't understand how they're going to put people back to work. He hasn't, nothing in that bill said anything about people back to work. Nothing in the bill that just came out either. Nothing established for our prices going down. Only thing they did was make sure that they got paid. That's it.
That's all they wanted to do.
All they did. They made sure that they got paid. And now I think I read something where Elon Musk was saying that all the representatives and senators now need to get a raise. He's buying them. That's what it is.
He about to lose his Canadian status.
Who is?
Eli.
Oh, you say Canadian status?
Yeah, you gotta remember Eli grew up in Canada.
Yeah.
His grandfather was in Canada before they went to South Africa.
Well, I hope they do get booted or reneged or whatever, because he don't deserve it. He really don't deserve the ones that he have. He don't even deserve to be here.
Listen, the thing is, no one respects the orange man as a leader, period. He went over to Mexico trying to get money for the wall they spit in his face. He went to Canada trying to tell Canada some stuff that he cussed them out and told them to fuck off. So, everywhere this man goes, no one respects him because he lacks moral commitment and as a leader. He has none of that. So he gets no respect. And now that he's showing even more how he's kissing Putin's ass, right? And so it's like you get no respect from the other countries, from the other presidential big hitters or the leaders. You get no respect from them. So he really done caused a lot of havoc to come on America just because of what he did to Zelenskyy as a 10 toes down type of leader. And he stands on what he says to his people, to where, this orange man doesn't stand on anything he says.
Yeah. I even had a black man, Brown, to sit here and say, when I say this man moved the goalpost like 30 times, and he said, well, his excuse for him was that he's not political. He's a businessman. Well, that means that you should have some political thoughts. Then he said, well, Reagan was an actor. Yeah. But if it hadn't been for Nancy, and I'm not going to sit here and say that if it hadn't been for her to keeping that man together,
Yeah, 'cause he was Botoxed up at the end.
Huh?
Reagan was Botoxed up at the end.
Yeah, he was.
He had them high eyebrows. Like, hey, I'm shocked.
But when you look at it, he just kept saying, "Oh, but he went into it like a business," even though it's the United States of America. It's not. It is a business, but it's not. But we already know that he failed as a business. So are y'all okay with him failing America and putting us even further into debt because y'all think he's a good businessman? Because I don't see any good business skills. I seen a big baby not getting his way, so decided to have an outburst and decided to walk away. That's what I see. I didn't see anything other than that. Because even if you sit here and look at it, there's never been a moment where even if he was doing his deals and even if they do raise their voice behind closed doors, they would be behind closed doors. When they went to go visit Putin, they didn't have any cameras, nothing. They didn't have any of the reporters there. They were behind closed doors. Every time that they have a meeting and they want to sit here and do something, it's always behind closed doors. Then if you turn around and sit here and they were like, well, Zelenskyy, he just didn't seem grateful. He didn't do that. I said, well, if you look at it in another way, if somebody went behind your back and tried to make a deal about your home and said that I'm going to take your home, and they sit here making a deal like, okay, you're going to get the bedroom and I'm going to get the kitchen. You're going to get the living room and I'm going to get the basement down there. And then they come back to you and they tell you, okay, you're going to have to sit here and give this up. Otherwise, I'm going to sit here and do this. I'm going to be pissed off too. Because now I know that you went behind my back and you started trying to sit here and sell my stuff before we even had a whole chance to sit here and talk about it. I'm pissed. So yeah, I'm going to look at you sideways. And I don't sit here and respect you. That's how I felt like he did. And he did answer their questions very well. So no. Everything that however he may felt when he walked in there, I think he had a reason to sit here and feel that way. So, and I'm gonna lay my plane.
That's well said. That's well said.
Get this off. Yeah. Let's play this part right here of the orange dumpster fire.
Both Mike Waltz and Marco Rubio in the administration and apparently staying. I just say, remember, this is not the second month of Trump's tenure. This is the 50th month of his 2-year term. And this is the point when somebody does 180 degrees from understanding American allies to backing America's adversaries, that you resign.
Mark, are you saying Marco Rubio should resign?
And Mike Waltz, this is really the time to do it. If they don't get out now, I think their reputations will suffer for a long, long time. And that would be sad because their record in believing in a strong American national security policy has been very good up until now.
I mean, let me show you what Lindsey Graham had to say literally 12 days ago to Zelensky's face, and then I'll show you some of what he had to say today.
I want to tell you and your people, you're the ally I've been hoping for all my life. Not one American has died defending Ukraine. You've taken our weapons and you've kicked their ass. And I'm very proud to have you as our ally. So, what I think? Complete, utter disaster. What I saw in the Oval Office was disrespectful, and I don't know if we can ever do business with Zelenskyy again. He either needs to resign and send somebody over that we can do business with, or he needs to change.
John Bolton, what do you think of Lindsey Graham right now?
Hold up. This is why I love this show, because we get to show the facts, the proof. Just a minute ago, you was kissing his ass. You are the greatest ally I dream for. It did turn your fucking back on him because your orange dumpster fire mad. Did y'all not see that in living color?
I seen it. But that's what they do. They're smiling your face, talk behind your back crap. Yeah.
It's just amazing how Lindsey Graham
face sitting on that couch. He looked like a big kid just whining, sitting there.
Marco Rubio had his head down like.
Right. And that's what I was gonna sit here and say. Marco looked like he was in timeout, and he was like, "Man, I hate it." How they be like, "I hate it here."
Can I wish this away? Can I close my eyes and wish it away?
Right. I hate it here. Give me away. Just let me go.
Like, oh God. Candyman, Candyman, Candyman.
Hey, more so, there's no place like home. I think he was doing the Dorothy right there. He was clicking his heels together.
All met up here alone. Got like 5 people. Brother, you got to see bucket up. My son said, "You need to get your camera game up." I'm like, "We just don't want to look at you." I'm like, "I look good, motherfucker." What do you mean by that? I would like to thank everybody viewing right now. But back on topic. The one thing I can say about the Ukrainian president is at this present moment, I think I might say his name wrong, so I want to show him the same respect that we did with Kamala. He showed you what a diplomat was. He sit there and was like, "Y'all are two of the stupidest idiots that I ever came across as leaders of one of the biggest countries in the world. And y'all literally up here screaming at me." It remind me of, y'all looked at that shit. Don't it remind us Monday through Friday, every day we do our lives, that they overtalk us when facts get hit in their face?
Yeah. They definitely they knew who they were imitating, because both him and Vance acted like Trump supporters that we endure every day. You know, it's that white privilege that takes over.
Because I ain't gonna lie, if Trump would have did this shit to me, I'm like, "Listen, you fat fuck. You better get your fucking finger out my fuck." I would have poked his fat ass.
No,
I would have poked the shit out of him. You ain't gonna talk to me like I'm a toddler and think you're gonna, because you ain't getting what you want. We got the cards. You don't got the cards, but with us, you'll have the cards. What are you talking about? You the president of the United States of America.
Hey, boss. I'm sorry. Okay. Hey, boss librarian.
Where's she at?
She's in the chat, the regular chat.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
No, she didn't come through the other way. She's in the regular chat.
Oh, I see. Hey, boss. What up, dog?
One thing I sit here and say, what is that? That man that KC, I guess that is your dude. They kept moving the poll.
Yeah.
And every time I said something, I don't know if he was still there, facts, but every time I said something, he had to move it and kept moving and kept changing it up.
I asked the one question to that man, and y'all was in the room. Remember, y'all was in the room. I just said, "Can I ask you a question?" Y'all know when I ask that shit, y'all know I'm on my bullshit.
Yeah.
So I'm coming at him. I'm coming at, because I see he's kind of like pivoting. He's like the limbo king for the week. And I'm like, I'm about to take him down a notch. We'll see you going back. I said, "Yo, can I ask you a question?" He said, "Yeah. The UK pay more money than America in aid to Ukraine." He lost his shit. Who, England? I said, the UK, the European continent, everybody pay more than America in aid for Ukraine. And when I gave him the number, that's bullshit. We give him $350 billion. No, you haven't. Yeah, they gave up $118 billion. And majority of that went to weapons being rebuilt, giving away our old equipment. But the European people gave up $138 billion from aid, humanitarian, and subsidies. Not equipment.
I told you. To each their own, I guess.
Yep. You know, he likes brutality.
Well, you know what, though? That's a form of financial domination, so I'm going to need you to pay.
To date.
Okay. All right. We'll play the next part. You look at the sound like who the hell played the
Oh no.
You know, this is a line that the White House must have put out. Unfortunately, I see a lot of Republicans talking about it. But as I said a few seconds ago, this is not a question of etiquette. I could say that it was Trump and Vance that provoked it. It doesn't really matter what happened. This is, number one, not the kind of discussion you have in public. Trump could have cut it off at any point, which leads, I think, people to speculate maybe this is what he wanted. You know, in World War II, neither Franklin Roosevelt nor Winston Churchill were terribly enamored of Charles de Gaulle for good and sufficient reason, but he was the leader of the Free French, and against the Nazi regime in Germany, he was our ally. In this case, it is Zelenskyy who is standing up for a country that only is asking for its independence and freedom to be preserved. Trump has said Zelenskyy is a dictator who provoked the war. It's an alternative universe. What you heard from Trump and Vance today was advancing the Russian position in these negotiations.
I want to see if John Brennan agrees with you. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess this might be an instance in which that is the case, John Brennan.
I've been agreeing with John Bolton regularly over the past several years, because I think he saw up close and personal the damage and the danger that Donald Trump presents to our national security. It is clear from today's events that either Trump and Vance are ignorant of world history or are intentionally ignoring it. And their naivete when it comes to Russia and their amateurish attitude in terms of diplomacy, it really just worries me. And I think it worries John Bolton. It worries a lot of people who have worked over the years to try to keep this country strong, safe, and prosperous. But Donald Trump looks at the world through a very transactional, murky.
And all that shit is sucker shit. It's them wanting to be up, them wanting to try to belittle that man, and everybody in America.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. And they
the
just wanted to sit here and do all of that. And I just think it's a sad situation. Because now we look like the idiots.
I wouldn't say we, sis. I wouldn't say we.
No.
Because
I'm sorry. I do mispronounce. I did say we. They look like the idiots.
Yes.
And
they
Go
definitely.
No, go ahead, Brown. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. They definitely see that they're very uneducated on having talks with other professional presidents and leaders. They're uneducated. They don't know what they're talking about, and they show lack of character and maturity. They're very immature. They cannot talk with other presidents on a level of maturity and good value leadership. They don't know how to even have their brain don't even take them that far. They don't know how to do it. So they look like asses.
Why when you keep putting up that picture, it almost look like monkey see, monkey do. You know how you move puppets, and so when he did his arm, JD Vance did his arm. So it was like, hey, we move in unison because we don't look like we the same person. That kind of stuff.
Remember they said one of us don't look like
yeah. That's that Sesame Street stuff. And you better watch out. You might get banned. Better stop.
Oh shit. Oh, we over here. And by the way, anybody interested, they're coming soon. I know people looking at the video and going to look at the re-video and wondering like, hold on, what the fuck is this? And they coming hat soon too. Yeah.
Show the hat.
So coming. And on that note, we're about to close this down. Anybody got any last words?
Man.
See that?
Go ahead.
There it goes. It says black supremacist on the hat.
Yes, it does.
Thank you for having me on the panel to discuss this. I felt like it was a great topic to discuss, and the matter of business being handled with professionalism when it comes to standing on business was just embarrassing to them, just an embarrassment. And that's all I got to say.
Well, the only thing I can say was say thank you for one having me up there again on the panel, and two, this whole WWE match. I wish I could script it kind of thing because I know they monologue, then they get to the back. We just didn't get a chance to see it. They could have kept that one. He was couldn't act then, and he can't act now. And if you actually believe that was I guess a look of strength, I don't know what kind of strength that you did. I seen better bullies in high school, better get elementary school that did better than them. So, but on that note,
look away like this. He was looking them eye to eye the whole time, and they kept looking away, up, down, around the corner, up the street.
That's when you know it's a sign of weakness, because I was always told if you need something done, you always look a person in the eyes to sit here and show it. That means you have nothing to give. And on that note, hey, y'all can sit here and fall for anything, and you'll fall for everything. So don't be fooled.
On Mars.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm sponsored by SpaceX Junior.
We gonna say OG Chronicles out for me.
Hey, what you got to do, AD? You got the last word.
What happened? You froze for a minute, bro. You buffered.
I said you got the pop.
Huh?
It's your turn. We about to close it out.
Oh, okay. One thing I gotta say about this mess is what I put up there, shaking my damn head, man. This is crazy. However, like I said, this is a clown show. So expect more. Expect a whole lot more, because the circus has 3 rings. So this is just one ring. We'll see more. They gotta keep the show going, because that's what they do. They need the media attention.
It's gonna be the greatest show.
Get your popcorn.
Get your popcorn. It's the greatest show on TV. He said it's gonna be good for TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat your popcorn. On that note, I would like to say thanks for everybody show support. Thank you. I wish to get more people to interact, but guess what? We'll be back. We might be back later on. I don't know. This is a topic that we want to talk about, and I'm glad I had these beautiful people come up here and express themselves on this topic. But this topic ain't done. I got more to say. Talk to y'all in a minute. Always remember, facts don't give a fuck about your feelings, and always make it make fucking sense. Peace.
Bye.